You good?
Yeah.
We on?
I'm good.
Do you want to introduce it?
What
You're the oldest. Go.
How dare you? Oh my God, it's like 2 years.
No,
Well,
it's 3.
hello everyone. And this is our big surprise, myself and Aideen, better known as Nadine.
We've literally named ourselves that.
We did, and welcome to our podcast. And obviously you can see us, so it's going to be streaming out on YouTube as well, which we are super excited about.
So excited about YouTube is like my fave. So I'm so excited to have it up on YouTube as well.
I know, definitely.
And we've been talking about doing this podcast for so long. I'm actually just delighted that we've finally got the ball rolling.
I know. I think I remember I said I wanted to do it at some stage like last summer, but we were just so busy with so many things, and we just love having the chats. And when we used to do like our Q&As on YouTube, we just kind of felt like it was doing really well, and why not? Two friends having chats.
Exactly. And podcasts are fun as well because you can bring guests on.
I know, which we will be having, so do stay tuned.
We should probably talk about the name of our podcast as well. So it's called Influencer is a Dirty Word. And I feel like it's kind of a controversial name.
But we're not dirty.
No.
We're not. We're very clean. I kind of feel like, I suppose, people have called us influencers, and there's a kind of like negative thing.
There's a weird stigma around the name influencer now that everyone is just like cringing when the word gets said. So like...
That's why we said influencer is a dirty word.
It was actually one of the lads that thought of it, and we just thought it was genius.
We've stolen on Shane. So yeah, we're gonna like talk a bit about ourselves, and then obviously the title of the podcast is how to deal with a breakup.
Yeah, I feel like this was the most asked question for both of us of 2018.
Oh,
like hands
completely.
Down.
Me
and
alone.
I was avoided for a year.
Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be. I'm gonna talk about how to deal with a breakup from all angles, and yeah, we're gonna have some quickfire questions, bit of fun, bit of crack. This is what the podcast is all about. So
get to know us for the first one as well, just because it is the first one. And if you've never heard of us before.
Yeah, actually you've never heard of us before. So I'll introduce myself.
Go for it.
Would you want to introduce me? Like we said.
Okay. So this is Niamh Cullen. She is older than me, but she hates when I say that.
This is the second time.
Yeah, we met like 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Niamh was getting her nails done in a salon that I used to work in, and we both recognised each other off Instagram. I think we both only started like off on Instagram at that time, and
we did.
I remember seeing her there, and like we both were so awkward because we knew who each other were, but I was like, I'm not gonna say hi to her, that's so embarrassing.
No, I remember I spun around in my chair and I was like, hey, I know you, and you were like, hey.
That's literally what happened. And then we followed each other on Instagram or whatever, or we were probably already following each other, I don't know. And then you invited me to go to an event. I remember it was the Dublin Fashion Festival.
Dublin Fashion Festival. It was the Young Designer of the Year Awards, which is a great event.
It was really fun, and we went to that together, and then we have literally been like besties ever since.
Well, you've told our story, so tell my story.
Sorry. So Niamh is like fashion, fitness, fun. She used to do some hair tutorials. She still does.
Yeah, the odd time. I do, the odd time. I just cut my hair up short for so long, so I couldn't style it anymore.
I know.
And now my hair's a bit longer, so I'm making it come back.
She's literally like probably the most fun person ever from night out. Like,
honey.
Okay, don't be getting all sentimental with me. But yeah, you're just fun. Great friend to have.
Just a great bestie to have.
That's it.
Okay, my turn. Am I joking? So this is Aideen. She is younger than me, but only by 2 years.
It's 3 years.
It's 2.5 years.
It's 3 years.
Oh, it is 3 years. Okay. Jesus, trying to make myself a little bit younger here. Come on. So yeah, she is younger than me, but she's actually quite mature and she's fun. Mm-hmm. She's extremely creative, and if you don't follow her on Instagram already, you really should, because she has the most amazing. I just don't know how you even think about it. I don't know how you put it together. I don't know if anyone. We should probably put the link to the photograph of us when we done Harry Potter and Voldemort.
Oh my god, hilarious! So I can actually put that up on the screen now. If no one
So that's like us in a nutshell. We're really, really fun, and this is what this podcast is going to be all about. But more about Aideen. She's kind, loving, caring, and I love her to pieces. And yeah, great fun. And this is why we're doing it, because we're.
Can
just
you
fun.
Tell that I am so not like emotionally, like I'm just not that kind of person.
No, she barely gives me a hug.
It's really awkward for me to say like these things, but I do mean like I feel it, like, but I just can't say it out loud because it makes me like.
Sure, even like the of the topic being how to deal with a breakup, there was times last year where I needed a hug and she just like
no, that's not true.
She just put her hand on me being like,
you will find out. I was literally there for her morning, noon and night. I really was.
Okay, so let's cut to the chase. We are gonna do will we do the quick fire round or okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
since I'm the oldest, I'll go
You'll get
first.
to know us a little bit better. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, Aideen,
Mm-hmm.
lipstick or lip gloss?
Lipstick.
Lashes or wing liner?
Oh, wing liner all day.
Oh, Thai or Mexican?
It depends. What
No,
day
quick.
it is. Jackson's room, so I kind of have to say Mexican.
Cardio or weights?
Wait,
Dip in the pool or the sea?
pool all day.
Oh.
I hate the sea. It's
Oh, I love
rotten.
it. Okay. Voice notes or
Also get in
text?
Voice notes.
Westlife or Boyzone?
Westlife. 100%.
Flats or heels?
Flats.
Sex or chocolate?
Chocolate.
YouTube or Instagram?
YouTube.
Salt and vinegar, cheese and onion?
Oh, salt and vinegar.
Guac or salsa?
Salsa.
Okay. Yeah, you're good.
Is that it?
Yeah, there's a quick fire round for
It's
Aideen.
hard because I like both of everything really.
Gonna call mine out.
Exactly. The same. Yeah. Okay. You ready?
Ready.
Tea or Coke Zero?
Coke Zero.
See, do you know what I've noticed about you? You drink tea, but you don't actually drink it. So you know when you're in my house last night and we made you a cup
Would you
of
want to
tea.
know why? Because my tongue is
Still
really
sitting.
sensitive and it'd just be too hot.
You have like 2 little sips and then it's like
Okay.
gym or online shopping?
Gym. Oh no, online shopping.
Runners or heels?
Runners.
Oh my god, I would have said a heels. For you.
Really?
Yeah.
When do you ever see me in heels? Only when I'm
You're
dancing
way
around
more.
Zico.
Jeans or skirt?
Skirts.
Hair up or hair down?
Hair down.
Chocolate or crisp?
Crisps.
Oh, this one. Lulu or Jamie?
Oh. Lulu.
Phone call or text?
Phone call.
Yeah, it's absolutely phone
Yeah,
call.
I love a phone call.
Same. Big party or a small gathering?
Oh, it depends on the scene. Big party.
Really? I think I prefer a small. Oh, it depends. Yeah.
It depends on the people you're with. Big party can go
I see,
mental.
I love like a little gathering and have like a sing song and everyone's drunk.
Yeah.
But then yeah.
Depends on the
Winter or summer?
summer.
Oh, definitely. I agree.
Okay. So that was a quick fire round. I think we done well.
Yeah, you kind of.
If any is tuned into my RTE interview with Owen McDermott, we done a quick
I
fire
think you should
round.
tell the
I
story
just
'cause
need to tell the story.
So funny.
We were doing a quick fire round. He was asking like a load of questions, and he caught me off guard and said, "The last person you've seen in the nude," and I thought he said the news, and you can imagine like this went out on air, and I said really, really quickly.
So pretend I'm on McDermott. I was like, Niamh, who's the last person you saw on the news?
Who would I say again?
Well, he
Oh
said,
my God, the
sorry, no, he
person-
said nude.
Who
He
did
said
I?
Michael.
Oh my God,
Higgins.
Michael D. Higgins. Sorry. So this is going out, and he's like, "Okay, so the last person you've seen in the nude," and I was like, "Michael D. Higgins." He was like, "What?" Obviously he beeped out like, well, you can say fuck on this, can we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
well, what
it's
the
our
fuck?
channel, we can say
Anyway,
whatever the fuck we
we can do whatever we want. And yeah, that went down, and I had so many people messaging being like, "I can't believe you thought he said nude." News.
So
it was the
basically,
nude.
Niamh has seen the president naked.
In the nude. He looked great, actually. No, I'm joking. I messed up. I not let's say
That is
that.
a thought like for everyone now, isn't it? Like, wow. Okay, so should we just get straight into it?
Yeah. What else do we have to?
Nothing.
Can we pause now for a sec?
We also have some prosecco.
Yeah, just because it's our first, we've something to celebrate.
That's
Also make us feel a little bit better because we're a little nervous. Shane, you're interrupting our podcast. Zip it.
We'll leave that in.
Oh, that's a full glass, honey.
Yeah, but like it's gonna get deep.
It's not going to get deep.
So if you're watching or listening, grab a glass and drink with
It's
us.
time for the girl chats for anyone who's been through a breakup,
Yeah.
besides someone that's been through a breakup.
See,
or
this is funny for me because I haven't, but like I feel like I have because
Yeah,
I was
'cause-
literally with
yeah.
you the whole time.
And I think
Like-
this is like coming from all angles. So
Totally.
I've obviously had friends going through breakups, like male and female, and then you've been a friend, and then I've obviously gone through it myself, which is pretty shit. We're not gonna lie.
It's
But-
shit. It's like probably one of the shittest things that could happen.
I
think.
honestly, and I know this, correct me now, but I honestly think sometimes it gets to a point when you're with someone for so long, it's like someone has died. It's like you have to
yeah, you're
grieve over them
grieving.
because you
Yeah.
don't have them around anymore. They're completely gone out of
Yeah,
your
your
life.
life is different. Like it's
And you're
not-
trying to like come up with these different things to do. Like, and you do be so upset, and yeah.
Mhm.
So let's have the chat. Let's cheers to it.
Cheers to it. First of all, let's just cheers to like the new start. You know,
I
that
know.
kind of way.
The influence.
We're out of that like whole.
Oh yeah, I
slump.
couldn't wait for this year to begin.
We had a good year last year, though.
We had a great year, and I was so lucky in the sense that I was kept quite busy. But that's one of the things that we're gonna.
I also feel, in a weird way, your breakup brought us closer together too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because we like literally spent like
so much
every
time
day
together every day.
We had sleepovers like
every
4
So
times
that's
a week.
one tip. Ding. Get a friend who you can sleep with all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't mean sleep
mean,
with. I mean like spend time with and have
Not in
sleepovers
that
with
way,
them.
like we're just friends. But there was definitely times where like I told David to go home because I was like, Niamh's coming over.
Yeah,
like,
you need to go. She can't be around men right now. She
and
hates
in
them.
fairness, he was so like understanding of everything.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, obviously go look after her, mind her.
I know. So I think how to deal with a breakup. I suppose I'll go from like how I dealt with my breakup. It was really, really hard. And for anyone, it's so hard. And I kind of feel like they say it's harder when you're younger, but I think it's actually so much harder when you're older because you kind of feel like I'm at the age now where I obviously did buy a house and I feel like I'm actually taking 10 steps
It's
back.
more serious when you're older. When you're younger, it's like you don't know any different, so you're like
exactly, and it's just
love, and you're just sad,
playful and whatever. But I think when you're at a certain age, you're kind of like, oh my god. And then the thing is, what I learned the most as well, that you shouldn't settle either. If you're not happy,
if you're not happy, just get out. Even if you're like comfortable, like who cares? Like,
no,
do you know what I mean? Get the fuck
and I
out,
think it takes a lot for someone. Like some people will settle. Like I was in a position where, not to go into, I'm not going to bring any parties into it. I'm not going to bring my actual situation into it, but just from an outsider kind of in that, you know, I forgot what I was going to say there. I had it all out my tongue.
I think like,
what was I going to say there?
I don't know what you were going to say, but like, I think what for you, like the best thing you did was like listen to your gut and just
I think so you can settle, and it sometimes, like I kind of feel like there's like 3 or 4 different type of breakups. There's like a breakup where someone has like cheated. There's a breakup that someone just doesn't love someone anymore. There's a breakup where things are just not going in the direction that people both want,
grow apart,
or you just grow apart. And I think they all kind of, I think the hardest thing, and I think the hardest thing when someone doesn't love you anymore and you still love them, I think that's the hardest one. I actually feel like if someone, you know, cheats on you, I kind of feel like it actually makes it a little bit easier at the time.
Because you can be angry
at them. But when someone doesn't love you anymore, you're kind of like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? And you kind of
just blame yourself.
And
then,
you do. And like, and there's so many like ways that like you'll feel down, you'll feel sad, and you kind of question yourself. I know I did for so long because I put myself in this bracket thinking I was like the dream like wife to be and like bought a house.
And you are, like, in fairness, like Niamh is the type of person, like if you're going anywhere, like she'll have everyone have little party bags ready for you, like with everything sorted. If you're going anywhere for the weekend, she'll have your toothbrush, she'll have whatever, and like if you're having people over, and that's when snacks ready.
That's it, and I think that's where you kind of like question the traits that you have when you're going through a breakup, and that's like the hardest thing, because it's not so much that you're like falling, like you're breaking up with someone, but you're almost like, what have I done wrong? What did I do to deserve this? And you kind of like lose your confidence or whatever. But yeah, I almost feel, I don't know, that's probably different for everyone, but that's just my opinion, that if you kind of like have a reason to not like someone anymore rather than someone not falling out of love with you, I kind of feel like they're two different. It's easier. Almost.
You'd almost rather it, wouldn't you? Like,
yeah.
Because you can be angry at them, and then
and I've been through situations where like I've been in kind of both scenarios, and then I've seen other people that have been in one scenario, and it's, you know, the opposite way and whatever. But I think when you are going through a breakup, I know I felt that, you know, I was literally lost for words, didn't want to get out of bed, had no motivation whatsoever for the first.
To the point where like Niamh wasn't actually going to go to Coachella last year.
Yeah, I was not going to go.
Literally, we had all booked it, and I remember it was Christmas last year, and I was like, me, you and Frank were out in Dakota on St. William Street, and I remember sitting there and I was like, Niamh,
you have to go.
I was like, if you don't fucking book Coachella, I'm gonna kill you, because I was like, this is your thing, and I was like, you need to go.
But you just get yourself in such a lull, and you get yourself in such like a little bubble of heartbreak.
I obviously got. I probably sound real insensitive there. That I was like, Jesus, because I fucking told you. But like, just I knew you needed it, like for yourself.
Yeah. No, I did, and it was the best thing I ever did. But this what comes with like whether you're a friend who is going through a breakup, or your friend is going through a breakup. This is where you need to have a friend that can support you and you know, have that support system. And that's like the one thing that I will say, that I was so blessed to have that support system. So if anyone who is going through a breakup, like, get your support system, and
100%.
it makes it so much
I feel
better.
like you'll also realize who your friends
Oh,
are.
who your friends are completely. Like, I know who my friends were, even though I've the solid 7 and they were there for me one step of the
100%,
way.
yeah.
And they actually were the ones that kind of dragged me in roads that I was going to take. And they were like, no, this is it now. Come on.
Yeah.
You're better
Cop
than this.
on, like, figure out.
And it's always great to have that support system. And if you don't have that support system, you know, listen to this and
yeah, you'll know.
You'll know.
Basically, everyone needs a friend like me. I'm joking.
Yeah, we do. Everyone needs a friend
I'm
like
joking.
you. So yeah. So what was I going to say there? Yeah, have a good support system. Have a friend. I know, coming from my point of view, keep yourself really busy. Don't stay in bed past 1 o'clock in the day. Don't call in sick to work and say that you have a vomiting bug when you don't. I like went through so many stages. I went through a stage of like actually grieving over someone. I thought someone had died. I was like, oh my God, my life is over.
But I think that's so normal as well.
Yeah.
I feel like no one's going to come out of like a 7 or 8 year relationship and just be like, oh, okay.
And I think
fine.
like
you're gonna be sad, like,
yeah.
regardless.
And like to the point where I was so upset that I actually had questions like, do I go speak to someone that I'm so low and down? And like that's where I went, because I was so low. Because obviously, like, I find breakups are probably one of the worst things that you ever go through. And I obviously have a friend of mine who is a psychiatrist, and she was like, Niamh, the most common people who come to me are young girls, because they don't know how to deal with their breakups and they just have this loss and all this thing. I think like back when years ago when we would have went, if you didn't go through a breakup, but when I was younger, breaking up with boyfriends, it was so much easier because social media wasn't around. But now that social media's around,
it's harder, isn't it? Because you can check up on them.
You can almost check up on them and see where they
are,
or they're last online on WhatsApp and then they haven't replied, and you've like just sent them this really deep message.
Yeah, that makes it even worse.
I know, and and that plays with your emotions. It plays with, you know, just these like little feelings that artificial feelings that you don't actually have, but they're there and they're being triggered, you know, that kind of way.
No, totally.
So yeah, what else was I going to say? I had this all out in my head the other day. It's mad talking about it, to be honest. It's obviously the first time I've come on.
It's actually really nice talking about it now from like this side of it.
Yeah,
because when it was happening, it was kind of like, oh my God, like, is she ever gonna get through
I
this?
know. And like so many girls would like write to me, and obviously I'm so sorry to the girls that I didn't get back to. The reason why I didn't get back to was because I didn't know how to deal with it at the time.
Of course.
People were asking me for advice on breakups, and I was still going through it.
People were writing to me every
and
day,
Louise,
and I was
even my best friend Frank. Like,
people
it was crazy.
Like, I remember bumping into people in town, and they're like, "What's happening with Niamh?"
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
because I didn't even come on Snapchat and talk anymore.
On a night out, like, not the time. And not that I don't think anybody actually meant any harm by it at all.
Yeah,
I think like we also understand that like we put a certain amount of our life out there, and people are gonna
totally
know. And it's like when I don't know, if like Kim Kardashian broke up, everyone would be like, oh my God, what happened?
I know. We're not Kim Kardashian now, but
I'm not comparing ourselves to that. But I'm just saying, it's like when you follow people and you're constantly watching people and something changes, you just want to know.
I know.
And when you find out, you're like, all right, I'm over it. But like, it's just until you know, you're not going to stop.
And I think that was the hardest thing as well, unfortunately. Like, I felt like I didn't deal with my breakup, like, you know, privately to a certain, even though I did myself, and I kept a lot of my private life private last year, and what I was going through emotionally, physically, and, you know, whatever. But I think that was one thing that kind of like made me feel like, oh God, is this actually all worth it? To the point that like people were sending me photos of other past halves and their like new Tinder page, and I was like, I'm not even on Tinder. And that's one thing I would advise, like, don't rush onto dating apps. I think it's just a confidence booster. Find your confidence with your friends, go out, have the laugh. Don't dive into that. I know I didn't, and I thought it was the best thing ever.
You actually just had fun last year, like, as much as you could.
I realised like my self-worth, and I knew that, you know, I don't need this particular person just to make me happy. I can make myself happy. Where before I relied on something for so long. And it's easy to do that when you're in a long-term relationship, or whatever relationship you're kind of in with would it be a man or a girl, that you do kind of rely on them, and then you realise the only person that you should rely on is yourself.
Like even for myself, like obviously like I'm in a relationship with David, and we've been together for like 5.5 years. I love
everyone needs a boyfriend like David.
No, and like I love him to bits, but I also have to remind myself, like, I am only 23 and I have been in a 5-year relationship, so that's why I'm always very conscious of having time with my girls. As much as me and David go traveling together all the time, but like you still need to have your time with your friends
Oh,
and do what you want to do, like,
and have fun and let loose.
exactly.
And like I know how much, like, if you're with the most amazing partner, and I'm lucky to have like a really lucky boyfriend at the minute, that you can go out and have so much fun with them, but
And
nothing beats fun with your girl fun.
No, it's
And
like different kind of fun.
it is.
Like altogether. And like even in January, like when me and Dave went to New York, and then me, Louise and Derv went on to LA, and I was like, everyone was like, where's David? And I was like, he's at home. I was like, I'm able to cope without him for a week. But like, we're not gonna die.
I know, that's it. And even that's like me coming to Coachella this year, and I'm obviously not bringing the other half, and I'm like, not that I'm delighted about it, but I'm happy about it, because I just like, I have my best friend Frank. He was basically my boyfriend. He's basically my boyfriend since I'm like 16, but just not. He's like my gay best friend. But anyway, it's so lucky to have him. But Frank, I do think that Frank, everyone needs a Frank Carter from their life. He'd actually love this shout out.
Delighted.
So yeah, I definitely think, whatever you're going through is to realize that your self-worth, and you'll find inner happiness yourself, even though at the time when you feel like your life is crumbling down. And I know, like, I may sound like I'm being dramatic, but I know, coming from my friends who've went through things and other friends, that like it does feel like that from time to time. Now other people may feel differently. They can be.
I think it's different for everyone.
It is, of course, and it's like anything.
This is just like Niamh's experience and my experience of being beside me when it happened, but like
more of like emotional experience.
But I will say, like, if I had €1 for every time I told Niamh it's gonna be okay, like I'd be so rich.
And you would be a billionaire.
Didn't know if it was, like, I knew it was gonna be okay at the time, but I was just like, Niamh, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
You're
you
gonna
just
get
need that
this.
like constructive self reassurance and reassurance from your friends.
Yeah,
like obviously not like you're fine. You're gonna be like with a rich man in like 2 months' time. Like obviously be realistic and just be like, here, look, I think the main thing, if I could give advice for anyone, is actually just take that time for yourself and realize what you want and how. Like, because this I know, like, so cliche, but like whatever path is, like your path will be given to you.
100%. What's for you won't pass you.
What for you won't pass you. That Prosecco's going to my head. Sorry, I can't even speak. Yeah, whatever's for you won't pass you, and I firmly believe in that. And like karma, and not karma in a way.
Not in a bad way,
but good karma. Like good karma will happen to you, and just work on yourself. Focus. Just be busy and I kind of found
plan lots of things.
That's what I do.
Have things to look forward to.
I'd usually start like on a Sunday evening. I'd write out things that I was going to do in a week, and I'd clock them in, and I'd make sure like some of my friends were free, and I'd make time for myself. Remember last
100%.
year I got like really dedicated to the gym, and like even though I was always dedicated to the gym, but I was trying different things in the gym, and I kind of I found that helped me mentally too.
Yeah,
I would recommend the gym too.
Defo.
Really, really good.
For like all aspects, your head. It's the best thing ever. It's just
You're right there banging your knee off the door. What? So yeah, where were we? Well, how can we go on from this now? Even though I kind of talked about my story, but I obviously dealt with friends dealing with breakups, and there was like 2 friends at the time that kind of dealt with things differently. One was trying to still do everything for them and like almost like win them back, and that's I was at that point as well, not to bring me into it, but I remember being at a point being like, I can actually, please them, and that's where I mean when it comes back to, you need to realize your self-worth and
100%.
Work on you, and I think the right person will come by and appreciate like what.
And it always when you're not looking for it, it always just like happens, doesn't it?
I know, that's it.
But I definitely would say, like, if you are coming out of a breakup, just do you.
Yeah, like, do you. Don't go on a mad one for 3 weeks.
Don't go looking for the next one.
Don't go on a mad session for 3 weeks feel like I did.
No, do.
No,
go on all the
sessions. Do. But
that's
like
a crack. But like,
it almost makes you feel worse though, because then when it comes Tuesday, you're so sad, and you're like, the drink is just like tarnished your emotions.
But I feel like with a lot of girls, like they have like this whole thing set up in their head. It's like, when I'm this age, I want this. When I'm this age, I want that.
And that
you have
was
to just,
me.
Yeah, and I feel like, I'm not that kind of person that I'm not really like that. Like, I know obviously I want to get married and stuff, but I'm not like, I must be married by this age. I must have kids by this age. Because I'm like, you just don't know what's going to happen.
I totally agree with you. And I think all my friends, I think people in this room can agree with me that I was the type of girl that was like going to be married, have
100%.
kids. But like
I thought you were
exactly.
I thought that was going to be you.
Have a house. And now I'm like selling my house, and I feel like I'm taking 10 steps back, but really I'm actually
Is it like selfish that I'm like glad you're not?
No, it's not selfish, because it just like wasn't my path anymore. I thought it was, and these things happen, and I'm so glad it happened now like these things happen for a reason, and this
Defo.
is bring you to the
I'm
next
like
path.
such a believer in like everything happens for a reason. Holy shit.
Oh
Like,
my God, completely. And that's what I spoke about. I'd done like a little talk in the Grad Ireland Live in the RDS, and after it, I even felt kind of inspired to be like, you don't need to be like do this at this age, doing a certain thing. Like age shouldn't define like what you want to do in life.
I actually feel like when you put those limitations on yourself, you're just gonna hold yourself
No,
back
you're just holding
anyway.
yourself back, and who
Because
wants
you're
limits?
rushing things then because you're like, oh shit.
And why
like,
are you
it's
setting
coming
yourself
up.
unrealistic goals when you don't even know if that's going to happen for you? And then if it doesn't
Exactly.
happen, you're going to be disappointed, and then you
And,
have
like,
self-doubt,
I
and it's
actually-
like a ripple effect
I
then.
feel like we're good examples of like, did you ever think we'd be sitting here doing this like 3 years ago? Because I definitely didn't.
Absolutely not.
I didn't think
I
we'd
just got a
be given the
dog and was getting new floors
opportunity.
down in my house. Like,
I
I did not think that at all.
But that's what I mean. You just
But that's
don't
what I
know.
mean,
But
and
it's a good thing though.
Yeah.
Like I would much rather have the life I have now than I did 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I always wanted this life, but I didn't think I'd get
Exactly.
it.
At the time now, no, I would. If you had told me at the time back then, I would have been like, oh my God, no. Are you joking me?
Like, sure, have my house and sort.
I was having a house now, sort. And a baby in 2 years. No, I'm joking. Working on a 6-pack, not a bump. But
Same.
yeah, no, it is. And you shouldn't have like limitations on yourself and set yourself up for self-doubt because if it doesn't happen. And then you're like, then you're disappointed then. And then like you're almost putting the next opportunities that you're going to give to yourself, you'll have self-doubt that you're not going to make them. And it's just like a
100%.
vicious circle. So I
is.
definitely feel like for anyone who's around the same age as me, whether you're younger, whether you're older, I know last year was the best year ever because I tried different things. I found myself again. I started going into nutrition, amazing course, which I probably would have never have done, but then I don't know. But I actually don't think I would have done it. So yes,
I
age
feel like you
shouldn't be
just
a
like
number.
you pushed yourself last year.
And I
Because you were like, right, I have a new start.
Yeah.
Like, let's do what I actually want to do.
Exactly. And I had like a couple of girls message me the other night being like, oh, I'm this age and like I'm going through a breakup and I think it's the worst thing ever. And I have a house and I have a kid and then there's other ones being like, I don't know what to do. I'm 18. Like, how did you figure out what you want to do? Like, nobody actually really knows what they want. They have an idea what they want to do and they have a passion and they'll go with it.
Yeah,
but
I think it's good to have a goal.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Obviously, but like, don't get so hung up on it. And like, people ask me that all the time. It's like, oh, what did you do to do what you do now? And I'm like, literally, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just fell into it. Like,
I think when you're so passionate about something and people can see you're passionate about something, it's like it's contagious
100%.
and you'll just grow with it then.
And I feel
But-
like you're naturally going to be drawn to those people that are like that as well.
Oh, completely. And I remember saying at the Grad Ireland Live, like I had girls coming up to me and they were like, we don't know whether to do this. I don't know whether to do this. And I was like, come here, listen, if it's great, if it's good, it's great. If it's bad, it's just an experience. And that
Exactly.
experience you'll take with you to the next thing that you want to
Exactly.
do and you'll learn from that. So
And you'll learn so much. Like, the amount of things that like has happened to like us just work wise. That
Yeah.
it's like, okay, that was a learning curve and I'm
Yeah.
never doing that again.
like
and I'm never
work
gonna work
wise,
with this person
personal
again.
life wise, everything, like, do
Exactly.
you know?
So many things happen and it's all just a learning curve. And I think you have to make mistakes to realize what you actually want.
And that can come from all aspects, like whether going through a breakup and making mistakes
Exactly.
or
Or
work
just
making
work,
mistakes,
or
like, and
just
you'll just
life in
learn from them.
general.
And like, don't be too hard on yourself and pick yourself back up.
Look at us. We are like life coaches.
I know. That's our next
I'm like,
episode, life
maybe
coaching.
you shouldn't listen to it. Like, I don't know. I probably wouldn't trust myself. But this is just coming from like our experiences. That's
Yeah.
why I feel like this whole podcast. It's not like you don't actually have to take anything literally. It's just
Yeah, conversation and
it's just
healthy.
girl
Yeah,
chat.
yeah. What's a pillow talk?
That's all it is, really.
Yeah, I am sweating.
I'm so warm. I don't know whether it's just because we're doing this.
I think it's the lights. I think it's the lights.
Here, have a piece of paper.
Thanks, Annie. I'm so warm.
Anything else? Oh yeah, so we asked people on Instagram and we have also made an Instagram page for our new podcast, which is Influencer is a Dirty Word on Instagram. We'll put the link up here or the name up here so you can go and follow us. So we will ask questions. I feel like we're going to ask questions a lot through our podcast.
Absolutely.
Make sure you follow it so you can get your questions in.
So I've asked the fan bam, and I mean fan bam is in use because obviously you watch our stories and engage with us, and I know a lot of people had questions for me over last year, so I kind of want to answer them now as much as I can and give you the advice. Well, I hope it's good advice, but it's just my advice. Take it or leave it. But we've had some really interesting ones, really sad ones. Most of them I can relate to. So I'm like, I feel you, sister. So yeah. So where will we go? Okay. How do you get your confidence back in yourself / trust a new guy after being cheated on? Okay, I can very much relate to this. Find your confidence. Yeah, it takes time to get your confidence back because obviously it's such a confidence knock, especially when you're very much in love with someone and you think everything's going great and something happens and you just don't understand why.
Yeah.
You start stalking the girl's page.
Oh God, you become like the FBI.
Yeah,
like.
you literally, and I honestly,
me how good girls are at finding shit.
Oh my God, I definitely feel like I could be an FBI agent. That
100%.
like
I always remember that episode of
you end up on the cousin's mother's dog's page
on their holiday
on their holiday 5 years
ago.
ago.
Do you remember that episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians when Kim used to be able to hack into voicemails of another number? So she hacked into Chloe's boyfriend at the time, read his or could listen to his voice.
Oh, I remember this.
This girl and was like, "Hey baby, sorry tonight," and then they're all just sitting there like, "Oh shit!" And then that's why I love Kim Kardashian because she just gets shit done.
Yeah, she just gets shit done.
It's mad how much you can find out from.
I know.
Just being a little psycho.
I know, and like I hate the way like guys would call us psychos, and you know what? Maybe we are psychos, but
genius.
Yeah, we are investigative genius, but maybe you've just like provoked us to be these psychos.
Yeah, don't make.
I'm only joking, and this is coming from like a girl, boy. Like there could be a man out there listening and thinking the same thing about a girl because girls are nasty too.
100%. It's not just one way; it goes
both
ways. Like,
definitely goes both ways. But how to find your confidence back is it takes a while, and as I said, like you end up, looking up other people and like as I said before, like you have the self-doubt and getting your confidence back really just comes from you and surrounding yourself with really good people and, focus on yourself and believe in yourself. And, it's not the end of the world. It's just a person that isn't part of your life anymore. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it is a good thing.
It's a shit time, but I feel like when you come out the other end, you'll laugh and you'll be like, holy shit, thank God.
I know.
Like this happened to me.
Yeah,
so
hopefully. And like have that motive in your head because I know sometimes.
If someone's gonna cheat on you, then like cheesy as it sounds, they don't deserve you.
Yeah,
like,
they don't. What is it?
One.
If you don't deserve me at my worst, you do not deserve me at my best.
What's that from?
Lauren Connor at the Hills.
What was the most iconic one? It's like, yeah, I want to forgive you,
but I want to forget you.
And then
Homeboy wore remember when Justin Bobby wore combat boots to the beach? That was an Aideen. Anyway, this is actually they're all about shitty guys and shitty times.
The Hills. If you've never watched it, go.
But I kind of felt The Hills was great to watch at that age because they were all going through breakups and love interests that didn't happen.
Honestly, like the most like iconic program of our time.
I know, 100%. Laguna Beach, The Hills, and
Laguna Beach was good, and then The Hills for me was like too.
I actually started rewatching it last year.
Same. Oh my God, when I was in LA, we were watching it on YouTube. We were watching clips back of like all the most iconic moments.
Yeah. Sorry, we keep going off on a tangent. This is me and Aideen to a T. But trust in you guy after being cheated on. Yeah, it's hard. I think you just need to have faith in yourself and faith in them that won't happen. I know from my experience it was really hard, and still to this day I'll have like little trust issues.
Did she say trusting new guys?
Trusting a new guy after being cheated on. And it like I know I can really I think
relate, like I've never been in that situation.
It's more the fact that you just like
you can't paint everyone.
It's more like if they're saying like, yeah, I'm gonna go out with the lads tonight, and you're like, oh yeah, great, you have a great time. Then you're secretly like, oh my God, he's gonna cheat on me. He won't text me back. He's been online and hasn't wrote back to my message. Don't think I'm a psycho because I know all you girls have been through that too.
Everyone, I feel like it's normal though, or like you worry if you're not getting a response. Like, what's going on? Did something happen? Or
and it's so unfortunate that a person in your past life has given you those insecurities and you're bringing them with you to your next. So I think that's one thing that you need to nip in the bud to yourself.
But I also think that if you're going from one relationship that you've been cheated on, you need to be able to like value yourself completely before you move to the next one.
Absolutely.
I feel like in the next one that shouldn't even be playing in your mind.
It shouldn't be playing in your mind.
In yourself, you shouldn't even.
But at the same time, it's like having like a bad experience anyway, you're still gonna have like that little doubt. And of course, and it's just unfortunate that someone has like not planted that seed in your head, but like you will have those like slightly insecurities. But you're
only
so
going
right.
off your own experiences.
Yeah, and unfortunately, and like that's the only advice I can give is just to, do, like you said, evaluate yourself before you go into a relationship,
Like, don't
and know that you
rush
have to go
into
in
it.
this with complete open arms and an open mind, and
like,
not think that
again, as like cheesy as, you have to love yourself before
you love anyone else.
Exactly. Like, I know
And
that sounds weird,
self-love,
but you do, because
like,
what's the
wear
point in being like,
self-love like a bitch. That's a quote that I read
That's it.
last year, and I was like, and I kind of like was like, what do you mean? It's like, you just wear self-love like a bitch and own it and love yourself, and then you'll be happy. But like, that's easier said than done
someone
at
said
times.
to me, got dumped last week after 3 years and he already has a new girlfriend. Help.
Count yourself lucky.
Count
If
yourself
he
lucky.
if he holds those traits as a person, you do not deserve him, and that is just
No, he
awful.
doesn't deserve you.
Oh yeah, he doesn't deserve you. Sorry, that's what I meant. Whoa.
No, like, seriously, like,
That's what I meant.
it's like, take that as a blessing in disguise, because
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. And even though it must be so hard, and I'm sorry you're going
course.
through that, and that's.
but I feel like in time you'll actually look back on the situation and be like, oh my god, I'm so happy he did that to me,
Yeah.
because
I probably would have never gotten out of it.
no, and you'll find someone better,
Yeah, exactly.
and your life will be great.
And we have another one. Oh, this is, I can so relate. Like, it's gas. The best way to distract yourself after a breakup. I'm going insane and I'm just stalking him on social media. Block him.
Oh, 100% block him.
And like, block him. And if you want to check your friend's page when you're with your friends to check his page, yeah, that's fine. But don't
get hung up on it,
Yeah,
because you're going to
don't.
drive yourself mental and you're never going to heal from it either. Like, you just need to
you just need to block him.
just block them.
Just
And
block
get your
them.
friends to block them too. So if you're
But it's
drunk on a
hard,
night out,
like,
you can't go on their
yeah.
phones and look at it. Just ignore it.
And what to do is block them off like WhatsApp and
everything.
and it will become easier. And
Because like,
yeah.
if they physically can't contact you, you're gonna stop thinking.
I know.
about
Remember
them.
one of my friends, like only a couple of years back, changed. They didn't want to block them, but they changed. She'd ring them when she was drunk, so she figured out when she was drunk that she changed the name. So she changed the name randomly when she was sober. When she was drunk, she couldn't remember what name she changed it to.
Oh, so she didn't know.
She didn't know then, which is another good idea. But like,
That is
just maybe just block them. And I have another one in here. And how do you know if you've made the right decision breaking up with someone? Well, like, you've obviously had self-doubt in that relationship.
Yeah, if you broke up with them in the first place, you probably.
Like, unfortunately, I was actually watching this film. It's like How to Be Single. It's actually a really funny film. You know, you're Amy from Pitch Perfect, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
And
Rebel Wilson.
yeah. Oh, is that not Amy? Is her name not Amy?
Her name's Rebel Wilson.
Oh.
In Pitch Perfect, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but her real name is
the one that's in. I thought her name was Amy.
the Australian one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rebel Wilson.
What about in Pitch Perfect? In Pitch Perfect, I thought her name was Amy.
Yeah, her name in Pitch Perfect is Amy.
Oh my god. There you go. And she was going through a breakup. Oh, actually, the girl in the film was going through a breakup, and she wanted to break up because she wanted to experience life, and then she came back from it and realised that she still wants to be with them, and then that other party then just didn't want to be with her. So it's hard, but I think if you're having that self-doubt,
you probably made the right decision.
You probably made the right decision, and if it's meant to be, it will be, and if you rekindle, you rekindle, and if you don't, you don't. Life goes on, and you just have to go with the motions.
Yeah. Like, feelings are only temporary as
yeah,
well.
it's.
Things,
I used
like,
to. I remember I used to always say it's only a feeling. I used to say to Aideen and like my friends, be like, "It is only a feeling. It'll pass. It's just a feeling. I can control it. I'm good."
It's so true.
And then I go out on a mad one from Friday to Sunday. I'm joking. No, I didn't.
There was a phase like last Christmas. I remember.
Oh my god.
That we were out. Oh my god, every single night.
Grab a drinking buddy. No, I'm only joking. It's not all about.
No, it's not all about drinking. Jesus Christ. But like. We were out a lot and we had so much fun.
We had so much fun and it was really, really good.
And I probably honestly would not have been out as much if it wasn't for you going through all that. But like, I was happy I was there for you, and I'm happy all the times we had some great times.
This was sis. We definitely got, as you said earlier, we definitely got closer.
100%.
So, what is this? Hi, me and my ex just broke up after 4 years. When does it become easier being on your own? When does it become easier? It's obviously different for everyone. I kind of feel like men go through a different phase. Men go through a phase of I don't care, yeah.
Sorry, I could just see the two of them like.
When it comes being easier on your own, so it depends on the person. But I know, like, you have to remember, guys go through a phase, and I know this for a fact because I've been through I've been through obviously breakup myself, and my friends have. The guys are through a phase of like, yeah, don't care, block you, don't talk to me,
on to the next.
Yeah.
And I also think
And
guys,
the girls are like,
no offense, but guys aren't as in touch with their emotions. What the hell is happening?
I know.
Hello. I think guys aren't as in like.
It's
if
my
a
ex.
girl's crying over a breakup, Niamh's ex bursts through the door.
No, hopefully not.
No, but I feel like if it's a guy, if a girl has gone through a breakup and they are crying in a nightclub, it's fine. It's like whatever. But if it's a guy, everyone's like, oh my god, what's wrong with them?
Yeah.
It's like different for guys.
Yeah, well. And they just go, as I said, they go through like a stage where they're like, yeah, don't care, out with the lads. Fuck yous all, girls, yous are mentalers. And we go through a phase of being like, oh my god, breakup diet, I'll use a stone in like a week because you don't feel hungry, you're stressed, you're upset. But then we come out the better for it. Which we
don't recommend, but like
no, we don't recommend that. I'm just saying
it just
like
can
that,
happen.
it can happen.
It's not just,
but then I feel like our stages are better because we're dealing with the problem.
That's
there
what I
and
mean.
then,
Girls are more, and I don't mean every single girl. Obviously, there's so many guys that are in touch with their emotions, but girls in general, I feel, will come to this realization rather than guys, because I can't imagine a group of lads sitting around talking about this kind of stuff.
No,
where
never.
Girls just naturally do,
and they will just.
Which
go
I think guys should, because I'm like, I don't see anything wrong with it. Like,
no, absolutely not. But then, like, that's where it comes to like being on your own, and if it's not meant, that the one thing I learned was if it's not meant to be, don't fall back into the trap when like someone does come crawling back, because eventually I feel
don't
like
just give in,
it does happen, and especially boys will come back after like 4 weeks being on like the Bender and the Tinder app and thinking that they're like, oh, I'm done now. And I'm like, well, you know what? If I wasn't good enough for you then, why am I good enough for you now? And then it will get easier being on your own, but it only gets easier when you surround yourself with good people. Prioritize yourself, do things that you've never done before, start a new class, I don't know, go out with your friends, have drinks, don't have drinks.
Put yourself out of your comfort zone.
Put yourself out, and then
try something new.
And feel challenged, and that's like a new kind of.
I just got a really good question.
Oh, did you? Okay.
How can I try to tell someone they're being used? That is so hard, because I feel like
I feel like if you're
there's always been a situation where you don't trust your friend's new boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever.
First of all, you don't upset your friend,
of course,
because they are obviously quite.
And then you also don't want your friend to think like that you're being jealous of their relationship, and then you're just a bitch, which I feel like happens a lot. Girls will probably be like, oh, they're just lying.
Yeah, they're just not. You don't actually think like that.
Exactly.
And I think you should. And I always think I've learned like communication is key, and the right communication, and actually sitting a friend down, being like, look, I want you to be happy, and that's the main thing. And this is on the question of being used. Like the most important thing to me in our friendship is you being happy, and I want to see the best of you. But I just want to be honest, and if you think I'm wrong, that's totally okay. But I just want to advise you that I think you're being used, and have maybe 2 examples, but not go into them too much.
Yeah.
And say.
And I also think like, tell them once, and if they're not gonna listen to you, like, they're gonna find out themselves.
Yeah,
that's kind of the way, because you don't want to lose your friend. You don't want to fall out with your friend over it either.
No,
and like I've been in that situation where I'm like, I'm gonna just say how I feel, and see if how they take it. If they completely diss it, I'm like, right, well, they'll find out themselves, because I'm not gonna push it on them, because I don't want to change their mind.
I definitely think it should be in like a not a reverse psychology, but you should like come at them. I always think, I actually learned this when I was like working in Brown Thomas, and I was doing like just like this small HR program, and it's called like the sandwich. So you start with a positive, kind of the middle is like the negative, what you're trying but to then say. Finish it with like an overall how we can like do this really better. Good. So if you have a friend and you think they're being you, start with a positive, tell them how amazing they are. We want you to be happy. Your relationship is great, but I think this, but you know, the second part of the sandwich can be like, this is how I think it could be better, and I just want you to be better.
Yeah, your conclusion.
Because I almost feel like sometimes when you're coming in attack mode, the person just thinks you're against me. Like, oh, I don't want to listen to you. Like, you don't approve.
That's it. And like, I feel like in a relationship, it's so touchy as well, because obviously you spend so much time with that one person, and like when someone from the outside is trying to tell you what's different, you're like, well, you don't know them. Yeah. You don't know what's going on.
You don't know us behind closed doors.
But I can see it from an outsider person.
And like, maybe that's just what I'm seeing. So that's where you should be like, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. Like, always be like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just saying.
Be sensitive with the way you approach it.
Always be sensitive.
Don't go in and be like, I hate your boyfriend. Yeah.
We hate him.
Ease yourself in.
I know. We have another one here. as a friend, did you feel affected did you feel it affected your relationship with your boyfriend? What?
Wait,
As a friend, did you feel it affected?
as the friend,
Oh, as a friend.
did you feel it affected your relationship with your boyfriend? As in like,
Is
as
that
in
like
like
a
were me and
follow-on?
David affect like that kind of? No.
No, maybe.
I actually think, being honest, when you went through your breakup, it made me realize that, yeah, I actually am in the right relationship.
Oh,
In a
you
weird way, without like
Mm.
sounding like, oh, I'm fucking great, because I
Yeah,
don't
you're
mean like
such
that.
a bitch.
But I
Wow,
just
thanks.
meant like, oh no, right, okay, like all the advice I was trying to give you, like, do what you want, make sure you're happy. And like I was like asking myself that, I'm like, no, I am doing what I want. David would never hold me back from doing anything
And
ever that I wanted
It
to
was
do.
so funny. And if you have like, not that I had a head on my shoulders, I remember talking to someone last year that was going through a breakup, and I was telling them all these things, and I was just like, oh my God, like, why didn't I not tell myself back then like this advice? But then it's
Yeah.
so hard. Like it's like you'll never eat. You're great at giving advice, but then
You're the
actually,
best ever at giving advice. But when you're in that situation, I feel like you're so
I'm
tough on
awful.
yourself
Yeah.
that it's hard to take it.
Yeah.
But you'll give the best advice ever.
Just think.
Yeah.
Psychiatrist
Always.
Cullen.
Always.
Make appointments down below.
I remember, do you remember years ago when we first started being friends, and I used to have like breakdowns when we had to go to like events? I always remember the story, and I didn't have an outfit or something to wear, and I like was like freaking out, and I was like crying. I was having one of those fucking days, and I was like, I hate my life. And David rang you and was like, Niamh, will you just ring Aideen and ask her if she's alright? Because I'm afraid to talk to her.
Oh my God, I do remember that.
It was years ago, like,
And I had to ring
living
you.
in your old house, like.
I know, and I was like, are you okay? And you were like, yeah, fine. But it's so funny. But that's
and
what friends
you
are
calmed
for.
me down like so much.
Did
And
I?
I was like, right, it's fine. I
Yeah.
don't even remember where we were going. I
Well,
don't
you
even
just
remember what I
need
ended
friends
up
like
wearing.
that.
But like,
But thanks, honey.
I have mental breakdowns every week.
Oh my God. What was 2018 the year of?
I'm gonna say it, but I'm gonna bleep
Okay,
it
so
out.
for the laugh, like to get me through, like to get me through my
Everyone's
breakup last
laughing
year.
here.
I used to be like, right, guys, been in a relationship for so long.
Well, we both say it
This
at the
year,
same time.
okay, this year
2018 is the year
of the dick. I know it wasn't for me. It wasn't.
wasn't
I
at
do
all.
not. I
It
do
was
not
like-
encourage the year of the dick on anyone.
But it was a funny saying we had all last year, just for Niamh, just to,
Yeah,
like,
at
get her
Coachella, I was
through.
like, oh my God, I'm gonna get some Cella dick. I did not
we
get
actually
any.
just started saying it all the time. Like, it became so
No,
vulgar.
and you know what? It was actually really, really good. It was like, you know, one of those comforting toys. Like you would just say it and it would make it me laugh.
Probably not the right use of words.
Okay, maybe not
there.
to use words. But it was just like, it almost became like a comfort thing to make me feel better. You were like, babe, don't worry, it's year of the dick. And I'm like, yeah.
And then we'd be like, yeah, you're right, it is.
And then we used to have like a song being like, D-C. Yeah, I know. You know what? We're getting too much into it. Nobody needs to know what
There
I
was an anthem.
There was an anthem.
Anyway.
But anyway,
Do you have any other questions?
kind of related but different. How to break up with a close friend that's turned poisonous.
Oh,
Maybe there's just, okay, first of all, maybe
that's actually
take
like,
it, like take a
hard.
step back and think, are they going through stuff that they're not telling you? Because maybe they don't mean to be poisonous.
I
or
agree. I feel like there's always, unless it's like blatantly obvious to you what is going on, but like
Yeah.
if someone's acting weird or acting like unusual, like there's probably a reason. Or
Yeah.
if you've always seen that side to them, that's probably just their truth.
Yeah, and maybe they're just not your type of person. Because I know if
Exactly.
I found my friend being anyway out of sorts and they were turning into something that they weren't, I'd be like, okay, there's something going on with them.
Like, what the hell's wrong
Yeah,
here? This
like
isn't
this
you.
isn't not okay unless they've been like that kind of from the get go.
Yeah, if you've always known they've had that side to them, just
Yeah.
walk away because they're probably no good to you.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna
But I definitely it was the same situation of like, if your friend's being used, talk to them.
Mhm.
Don't come, you know, at attack. Do the whole sandwich thing.
Do the sandwich
Do a
thing.
positive thing, being like, here, look, I
Do
think you're
the
amazing.
sandwich.
I think you're amazing, but you're being poisonous
Just
lately.
be like, I feel this weird vibe.
Yeah, I feel
and
this
I'm
weird
not-
vibe, and it's not okay.
It's not okay.
And I just want to make it better now, or like, what's the story? And if they come back with an answer that you're not really satisfied or happy with, then yeah, break up with them, block them off everything. Don't come to that,
Sorry.
and we have a funny one.
Sing the year of the dick song.
I don't think we can. T-I-C-C-K.
I
know. Oh my guys, I had a tough year. This got me through it. Okay.
It really did. David.
Oh my
even,
God,
at
this
one
should
point,
be.
I think David even was like,
Yeah, this should be the theme song. T-I-C-C-K.
I actually just every time I hear that song, I just picture you doing your little dance.
I know.
You know when you get into it, like
I know. My little.
Oh my God.
So funny.
Someone asked me what moisturizer do I use. That's very relevant.
Honey, we're talking about breakups here. Don't be asking about moisturizer. We're joking. She uses a water-based hyaluronic acid, vitamin C serum. She loves the Kiehl's facial cream.
Strobe cream as well. From
Oh, that I
personal
love.
fave for both of us.
Personal fave.
Anyway.
Friend broke up with boyfriend 4 years. She always texts him after a night out. Habit SOS. Honey,
Block
I know.
him.
Block that number.
Why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing? Sorry, we're in a room with some males here, so they are finding this hilarious. We know someone. I think we all know someone.
Oh, they relate.
Oh,
I don't think like.
Yeah, come here, that was me too. Like everyone goes through that. Like
block them.
Just block them. And you know what? You should I remember actually just at one point just handing my phone to Frank, being like, take my phone, I don't want to text anyone. Because at one point I was
turn
texting.
your phone off.
I was like texting, I don't know who I was even texting. I was just being ridiculous and drunk.
Say it
and
and I'll bleep it.
No.
Jack
Brennan. So yeah, what else? We have a few. Do you have any more there? Mine are kind of like repetitive. They kind of like
my friend and his girlfriend have broken up. How do I deal with it? As mostly have girlfriends, so this is the first for a guy friend.
For a guy friend.
Her guy friend broke up with his girlfriend. With the girl trying to help a boy. Wait, we have lots of males in the room. Why don't we ask?
Well, no, I've had a friend who's a guy who's, you know, like I think from a girl perspective, it's actually almost better. Like having a guy, because
do you know what I actually? Sorry to interrupt you. What I would say is, I actually feel if it's a guy, you need to check up on them way more.
100%.
Be annoying.
Because
be that
they
annoying
won't
friend. Text them every day.
Yeah, because they won't.
They're not
open
gonna blurt out their emotions.
They'll like be like, yeah, I'm grand, yeah.
And sorry, that's terrible to be painting everyone the same brush, because obviously
everyone's so different.
But just from
a generic,
the guys that I would be friends with.
Yeah, and the guys that I would be friends with, like guys don't open up as much as girls, and that's something. So obviously I would watch them a little bit more.
I feel like even with you, when you went through your breakup, I felt like sometimes I was being that annoying friend, and I was like, I don't even give a shit if I'm annoying her right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna text her 10 times a day until she texts me back.
Yeah.
Because
and it was so good that you have friends like
and even
that.
I could imagine you be like, fuck off texting me.
So
I'm
my
not in
friends
the
were the
mood.
same.
But like it's weird, and I used to always get a vibe with you. I knew something was wrong, and I would text you and be like, what's wrong? And you text me back and like,
actually the same with my best friend Laura Gorman. I was only with her today, she just had a new baby. Yeah, and she would text me like every day and like text me and be like, hi, why haven't you wrote back? And I'm like, oh my God, I was just sharing. She was like, yeah, but it's 3:00. I'm like, oh, okay.
And I think just be that kind of person.
Yeah, I think it's so important to have those type of friends and surround yourself.
Exactly. And in the moment, your friend might not appreciate it, but looking back on it, they will appreciate that.
Oh, definitely.
You were there, because they'll remember all the times you annoyed the shit out of them.
I know, completely. But that's what friends are for. Annoying, but good.
You always gotta ask me, okay?
Your relationship. Oh, sorry, didn't read the end of the message. How to overcome the overwhelming feeling of trying not to let your anxiety dampen your relationship.
Well, that's hard. See, you're probably better.
Yeah, I can relate in the sense that it is a feeling, and it's only a feeling, and like I feel like if you're opening up with your relationship, he should realize that you do kind of get overwhelmed sometimes. But like check yourself, like have like a little moment and check in with yourself, and I think that's so important.
Yeah.
When you're feeling overwhelmed, be like, why am I feeling overwhelmed? I think when you're in a relationship with someone, you're a team, and I think that's so important. When you
basically share your life.
You do share your life, and like and if you are in a good healthy relationship, you should be a team, and you should, when the one person in your team, like a team member, is feeling low, you have to pick them back up and make sure they're okay. Now to the point where if you're going to be sad all the time, I think that's something that you should go and maybe venture.
Maybe like I don't mean like break up or anything, but take some time.
You take some time for you and help yourself.
Whether it means like having a day to yourself.
Because there's only so much that like someone can help you, but I definitely feel like if it's dampening the relationship, maybe just talk
also
to your
think
partner.
like no matter what relationship, you're always the most important person
Yeah.
to yourself.
To yourself, and you're the most important person. But I definitely feel like when you're in a relationship, that other person, you're like your other team member, should be there and to understand that you're having these moments, and then obviously check in with yourself and maybe, you know, make yourself feel a little bit better. But I definitely agree that overwhelming feeling is horrible and just can't be controlled at that time, and it's very, very hard to see past that. But as I said, team member, check in and you're good.
Exactly.
You said it, sis.
Listen, sis. So
how do you deal breaking up with someone you still love? Oh,
I feel like
how do you deal with breaking up with someone?
No matter what the reason was you guys broke up, if you had to break up in the first place, it's for the.
So it depends. Like you're not. It's not really saying what party, but like how do you deal with break? Like it's hard. You just need to Yeah, like it's hard. Like how do you do? Like you just have to roll with the motions, keep yourself busy, and try to remind yourself that like this feeling that you're feeling isn't the end feeling. That like it's not like it's not a permanent feeling that you're feeling. Like it is gonna get better, and you just need to make sure that you're surrounded by yourself. And as I said, self-love, wear it like a bitch, and like understand that, you know, loving.
Why do you think we take so many selfies? Like
literally, now that's vanity. But yeah, I come here. Look, I really relate to that girl, and it is super, super hard. But I think the most important thing is that I can tell you that that's almost like a feeling that you're going through and emotions that you're going through, and how to deal with that is just almost like ride the wave and try surround yourself with good people and know that this feeling that you're feeling isn't permanent. It's just temporary and it gets easier, and
totally,
you know, it will get easier. But that's shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could have some.
I actually feel bad for all these girls now. I'm like, let's all have a party.
This is let's
all go on a night out.
Yeah, I feel like these girls should all come in. I could give them a big hug and be like,
and we can.
I've been there.
Dance.
Yeah. Dance on the tables of Zico. I'm joking. We have another one. How do you cope with being with some? What are you laughing at?
This got real heavy real fast, so we're gonna lighten up the mood a bit and just do some.
Well, I hope you enjoyed it anyway. And I mean, this podcast is going to be coming out every Sunday. We're going to be talking about different topics. So if there's anything that you guys would like us to talk about, send it in.
We've in the comments down below, or you can DM us on Instagram as well.
We've loads coming up. We're going to have special guests on. We're going to be talking about the Oscars. Don't give away too much, but yeah, fire in your questions anyway, and hopefully
we have lots of ideas.
We have lots of ideas. So we're gonna actually do something.
We're gonna do some would you rather, just for the lol. Go.
I don't know why, but this came up 37 dirty would you rather questions for couples.
Go, let's do it.
Okay. Would you rather talk with me about someone you fancy or fantasize about it in a secretly? What?
Skip that.
Okay, sorry. Would you rather have one partner or multiple partners?
One. Ew.
Would you rather watch a girl?
Skip that. My mom and dad are gonna watch this.
I know. Would you rather watch? Oh, okay. Okay, you ready?
Go.
Would you rather be able to see 10 minutes into your future or 10 minutes into the future of anyone but yourself?
Anyone but myself.
Okay.
Because like if you see in your own future, then you're gonna start like playing.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not gonna actually happen very soon.
Would you rather be famous when you were alive and forgotten when you die, or unknown when you're alive but famous after you die?
When I'm alive, because I'm dead, I'm not gonna know.
Would you rather go to jail for 4 years for something you didn't do, or get away with it for something horrible you did but always live in the fear of being caught?
Oh, go to jail for I have dreams that I have murdered people, and like the guilt I feel is like ridiculous.
You have not, have you?
Yeah.
You're a secret psycho.
I'm not at all, but I have had dreams where like someone I'm even with has murdered someone, and like I
oh my God, it's me.
The guilt. I said no, I couldn't live with myself. No way.
Okay. Would you rather live your entire life in a virtual reality where all your wishes are granted, or live in the real world? Well, you love virtual YouTube. Well, that's not actually.
It's real. No, I think I'd rather live in
the real world. Okay. Would you rather be alone for the rest of your life, or always be surrounded by annoying people?
Oh, alone. All day.
Would you be always be surrounded by annoying people. You live around annoying people all the time.
Oh yeah, true. Well, like
Okay, do you want to go for me?
yeah.
Okay, guys. Okay, don't pick up the ones I was picking up because they're dirty.
Oh, would you
Influencer is a dirty word. Mm-hmm.
Oh, would you rather be completely invisible for one day or be able to fly for one day?
Oh,
100%
fly.
Invisible.
I don't.
Oh my god.
You're a wizard,
I
Harry.
would love to be
Love.
invisible.
Get me broom out.
Oh, with your invisibility cloak.
Oh yeah, true. I think I'd like
Mom.
to fly. I wouldn't like to be invisible.
But like, no.
I'd get so lonely. Imagine me. I can't go
Yeah, but
3
you could
hours on my
creep
own.
everyone. It's only one day.
But exactly, I can't go 3 hours without being on my own.
You could find out everything about everyone you wanted.
Look, honey, I'm entitled to my opinion. I want to fly.
Okay, fair. Would you rather live without the internet or live without the heating?
I'm cold anyway, so
Yeah, I'd rather live without the heating.
live without the heat. God, we're
Oh,
such
no, there's
social
no
maniacs. Social media maniacs.
Would you rather have everything you eat to be too salty or not salty enough, no matter how much salt you add?
Salt.
Salt big.
Salt Bay. Probably too salty.
I actually don't know.
I don't know.
I know, actually, I hate plain food, so
Yeah, I'd rather salt.
I'd rather the salt. Right, anyway, I think we should finish this up.
Yeah. So,
thank you so much for watching our first podcast.
and listening.
Yeah, listening as
watching,
well. Sorry,
listening.
watching and listening, or both. Don't forget to come and follow us on our social medias. So you can find me on Instagram at Aideen, Niamh is Niamh Cullen with an X, or you can follow our podcast, which is
Influencer is a dirty word. And
on
we have that
Insta.
on YouTube and Insta now, which is
So like and
exciting.
subscribe.
Link below.
And
yeah.
hit the little bell as well if you want to be
Yeah, yeah.
Hit the little bell if you want to be notified when a new video comes up, so you can watch it.
And don't forget to send in any suggestions that you have on topics. We have a few going on, but it's always great to hear from
we
you
want
guys.
your input too.
Yeah, on anything that you'd like us to talk about, because yeah, you are the reason why we're doing this.
Exactly.
And yeah.
Okay, thanks for listening and watching.
Bye.
Bye.